to what they told him. But at the end of the day, it's his life and his decision.
So he told me last week in Miami that he wants Deontay Wilder above all else, and that he believes that he can get the fight made. So what is the hold-up? If he wants it, and Deontay obviously wants it, then surely there is enough money on the table for that to happen. We've seen the great fights being made and the sides coming together. Mayweather-Pacquiao took far too long, but eventually it was made.
And when it was made, it was the biggest fight, dollar-wise, in history. So this fight is only going to get bigger. And I don't believe in the thing, which I don't believe either man will lose, but Pacquiao got knocked dead in the fight with Marquez. And it came back and it didn't affect at all the outcome when they met and what they made. This will happen a lot sooner than that. The fight with Joshua will happen, but it's not going to happen on their terms.
It will happen when...
Yeah, this is a whopper of an interview that Shelly Finkel, one of the managers, the lead, the guy, it's him and Al Heyman that'll run in Deontay Wilder's career. They're in control. He had an interview that Sky Sports just released. I believe this was yesterday at the weigh-in, but it just came out, where he talks about everything. And you're not going to like a lot of shit he's talking about, man. And to me, it's a risky-ass strategy, but we learned a lot of stuff during this. For example, Sky coming to Fox is bringing Sky to the U.S. Okay, well, I got some timestamps. We're going to go through it all. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live with FightView360.com. And let's fast forward to some of the interesting bits. Right here is a good place to start.
No one seemed to carry yesterday that he closed the bell at the stock exchange and he hit the gavel and broke it. And no one seemed to have covered that.
I got your back, Shelly.
That was a great story. And you see him with Kiori, his daughter, and you see him around with people and with my family. And yesterday, he was in the bus. We went to an ice cream parlor after.
Okay, all right, let's fast forward a little bit. Where's my timestamp? Right here.
You know, he's a sweetheart. But I guess to be and do the things that he does, he has to motivate himself in different ways.
So he gets rid of Dominic Breazeale, hopefully for you guys, and moves on. Look into the crystal ball. You've got three great heavyweights at the moment.
How much do you weigh in?
Three great heavyweights. You've got three very different characters with different skills, with different promoters and with different broadcasters. How can it all work and how quickly will it work?
It can work. That none of what you addressed just now is an issue or will be an issue. John Skipper and I speak weekly. Bob and I, whenever it's needed, we talk. And none of that's going to be an issue on any of it.
How are you and Eddie at the moment?
Great, we don't talk. And so there's nothing negative. I think that...
But you'll work with him if needs be.
Of course, of course.
All right, so let's stop right here and talk about it. As I said, this is the guy that you hear from when it comes from to Deontay Wilder. You know, he's the one that's been telling Deontay Wilder, you know, listen, we can get you that $100 million. Now, you did hear that he talks to John Skipper weekly. John Skipper is the guy who runs the zone. You know, he's the one who's responsible for, you know, Golovkin getting that money, Canelo getting that money, keeping Anthony Joshua on the zone, even though he's fight by fight. Finkel, from this interview, he's really confident in the pay-per-view model. And it seems as though something is going on that, you know, he's hinting that, you know, like he knows the fight's going to happen. It's not going to happen this year. You know, right now, it's looking like it's going to be... Now, this is in the perfect world of Heyman, Finkel, Deontay Wilder. They fight Dominic Breazeale, beat him, go on fight Luis Ortiz in a rematch, likely on fucking pay-per-view. Adam Kornowski, they'll fuck around. They can do that possibly on free TV. Then they'll try to come together with Showtime, with Bob Arum, you know, and Top Rank, and try to get that Fury rematch before fighting Anthony Joshua. That's what it's looking like, unless they come up with some super mega deal, but they're gunning for that 50-50. They want and feel that they should get that 50-50, and they're inching closer. But right now, I tell you right now, Anthony Joshua, in my opinion, which I'm entitled to, he is the A-side. It's not just America. America is where the big bucks are for pay-per-view. Yeah, but it's a risky model here. Now, Anthony Joshua's fight June the 1st here in the States. That should be a good indicator of what his appeal can be over here in the States. I'm interested to see, how many people are going to be watching the Zone to watch him, because apparently the Zone got a nice little subscriber boost, about 600,000 or so, give or take, for this fiscal month right here to expose to Anthony Joshua, because they got them for the Canelo Jacobs fight, right? Maybe more, give or take. Let's say they got between 400,000. I'm just throwing numbers out there. I'm not saying that they real. I'm just, giving you some ideas. That was the biggest boost for them that they've had. So now, it's up to these boxing events that they have, and it's a shame that Usyk, fight got postponed. Devin Haney's headlining that, but the point is, let's see how Joshua was able to capitalize off of this. In fact, while we're here right now, let's go look at some ticket sales. Now, I already expect Wilder Breazeale. Let's just go look at them right now. This is why we're here. Wilder versus, and what we'll do is, while I'm looking up this stuff, I'll go to my next timestamp, which is 15, and you can listen to this.
Really silliness and stuff, and let me take care of business.
Deontay says the fight will happen when we least expect it, when it's silence, a little bit like what happened with Fury. Do you agree with that?
Yes, the thing in the paper and the negotiating, and the problem with it is, if you don't respond, then people say, oh, he's not interested, or that. If you do respond, there's some fans for him, some are against him. Behind the scenes, it'll get done.
Very positive that you're speaking to John Skipper regularly. Obviously, there was a huge amount of money on the table for Deontay to jump over to Dazn.
There's a Wilder Breazeale tickets today.
Canelo, Golovkin, and there's obviously huge money behind them. Why didn't he go? Is that back to the loyalty of where he started and where he's come from?
We feel with the plan we have laid out, and you'll see it unveil, he will make as much or more in the next 3 fights, and it will make him bigger, where him knocking out Joshua on the Zone will get the press, it'll get the hype. I don't know if it'll make him bigger.
Now here's the thing. See, here's the thing. He has a very, very, come on, think about it. He has a very, very, very valid point there. Because the Zone is not a mainstream platform yet. Having that fight, he's saying knock out, Joshua only because he's going to go for his fighter. But having that fight happen on a Showtime or ESPN or Fight or Fox here in the States, if it was to happen in the States, would make both fighters bigger globally because of Anthony Joshua's global following. But see, of course, UK fans, it's going to be hard for you to, kind of grasp what I'm saying. But also, I do admit, in order for the fight to be that super mainstream, super success going in and not in hindsight, can you see the fight doing 1 million pay-per-view buys? Can you see Joshua Wilder doing 1 million pay-per-view buys? Let's see what Pacquiao Thurman does. That's a very legitimate, credible pay-per-view fight. Let's see what that does. I don't think so, man. Let's listen into my last 2 timestamps. Oh, these are the Joshua Ruiz tickets. Joshua Ruiz. Now, supposedly 10,000 or so is traveling over here to the States for Anthony Joshua. Also, I expect the fight is 2 weeks away now, exactly 2 weeks away. I expect for these tickets to be sold out, a good portion of them. But I expect majority of these to have been purchased by UK fans. I expect the atmosphere to be rocking, especially since a lot of, it's the beginning of the summer, or not officially. It's going to be June the 1st. It's the Big Apple straight down in New York. The Brits, they're going to be drinking up so much beer. But I am hyped for Wilder versus Breazeale tonight. So let's go to the next timestamp. We're going to go to, wait, did he finish what he was saying? Let's rewind it back so you can kind of process what he's saying. Imagine the mainstream exposure it will get, if it happens. I understand UK fans are not going to be able to grasp this. But however, Wilder's side, see, the guaranteed money is definitely over on the zone and with Joshua over there. But the way Finkel is looking at it is like they are thinking past Wilder in regards to, they're like, listen, we're confident Wilder's going to knock him out, but we don't want it to happen on the zone because we know if it happens on Showtime, even Showtime, Fox, or even ESPN, it'll make Wilder even more bigger star. So even though the fight, like he's saying, will have that good, massive pre-fight build-up, it's just that on the zone right now, it's not exactly where they want to be. Like, the zone is not as big as they want to be right now.
And when he fights him, he wants to be at the biggest, sitting at the table, getting what he wants for the fight, which I think we're there anyway. And
so basically, I think that he's alluding to the fact that he knows. I don't think it's a money issue anymore. I think it's the networks and the platform now. While I think that the money issue is kind of, well, fans don't want to believe it, especially YouTubers, because they want to go back and forth and arguing about who should be paid and yada yada to keep their narratives going. But there has been some leeway or some give in the negotiations for Wilder. It may not be 50-50, but he's damn sure getting close.
able to make it happen.
In my opinion, I know y'all get so pissed when people don't agree with your side. I just cover the sport. People want me to be Team Joshua or Team Wilder so bad.
Where will it be broadcast?
Oh, here, listen. This is what I was talking about when he was saying that Fox is supposed to be bringing Sky to the U.S.
We're there anyway, and be able to make it happen.
Where will it be broadcast?
Well, I heard Fox is bringing Sky to the U.S. Don't know. It'll get done, though. I have no doubt about it. At the end of the day, if it has to, money will rule.
And as we've seen, broadcasters can work together.
At the end of the day, if it has to, money will overrule. Is that what he said? That $100 million, though, I'm sorry. In this day, like my honest opinion on the situation is, how can you turn down that guaranteed money when a lot of fans, like especially Deontay Wilder supporters feel the zone may not be around. So it's like, they're printing money, giving out that guaranteed money that they have to pay you or, buy you out. That's all, like, and the fact that Wilder's talking about killing people in the ring, whether he means it or not, or sells the fight, or he does definitely have bad intentions when he goes in there, blood is bad. But it's like, that can happen to you. Injury, anything could stop you from being able to perform at your best when you can't put food on the table. Guaranteed money, shit. And he's got a target. And then when you got that target on your back, but that's why he said, you got to respect it. He betting on himself. Let's just hope that it don't come to bite him in the asshole. Right in the asshole.
Before HBO and Showtime have. And I mean, what do you make of the whole scene of ESPN and now Dazn and Fox and Showtime? HBO have gone. In Britain, similarly, we've got BT and ITV. There's a lot of broadcasters now because boxing's hot. How do you see it all playing out in the next few months and years?
I think right now is a very good time for the sport. What I think has to happen, that is not happening as much as I would like, is the building of the next generation. If you look around, There are a lot of very good heavyweights coming up.
Yeah, he's talking about his other guys like Effie Ajagba. But let's go into the next timestamp since we're short on time. One of the final timestamps. I got 2 left. Let me see what's the good one to pick. 20 or 22. Let's see what he's talking about here. I forgot.
My life, I don't need to do it for money. And that's not a motivator. I want to get paid for what I do, but it's not the motivation. Here's a kid that if he listens and does what I think he will, he'll never have to worry again, nor his kids.
And do you think over the next 3-4 years, Deontay Wilder...
Oh, this is the part I was saying, in, like the selling of like the dream, which is the future that's not here yet,
will rule at the top, will unify the divisions, will exact some sort of revenge over Tyson Fury because of that sort of stained draw, and that he will destroy the myth around Anthony Joshua, if it is a myth, because a lot of people feel that Joshua will be too rounded and strong for Deontay, and that Deontay's power won't be enough.
Well, let's address first Fury. Fury he'll beat. I think the first time there was a lot that went into it, taking nothing away from Fury. I mean, him to get up from those blows and still, not run away, I give him a lot of credit.
You make by collecting the other titles.
So does Joshua. Oh, I want the BC champ to fight the BA champ. They want Wilder and Joshua.
So,
right.
We got to make it happen.
And it will. And it will. And it's
Promise
not,
me?
I promise you. And it's not because of the belts. It's because that's the fight that should happen. And
the hell happened? What the hell happened? Oh, there we go.
that was after.
Him as the Olympic gold medalist, and seen how successful he's become.
That was after. I was interested for a little before that.
But certainly as a fighter, he's been extremely successful. As a commodity, he's been enormous and huge.
Yes.
Is a massive star in Britain.
Yes.
If you were part of that team now, what would your advice to him be to make the big fights? Because that's...
This is Anthony. This is Shelly Finkel's message to Anthony Joshua.
Seems to be he's fought Vladimir, he's fought Parker, he's unified up to a point, but he's never fought a Fury or a Wilder. What advice would you give him?
Well, I wouldn't give it now. It would have been along the way. And it's a mindset of, don't get caught up in the arrogance. There's other people who are not that dumb that are on the other side that are every day scheming for their athlete. So you're moving along, and when it was time to make the Fury fight, I didn't get into, I'm not giving you this, we're the champ. I went to them, how do we make the fight? It's a big difference in a mindset. And at one point, Joshua had to, or has to, get into that mindset. I want the fight. If I make a little less, it's still a lot of money. I want to make that fight. I want to make the other fights. If you keep with, well, I'll only offer you this, or I'll do that, you end up with nothing.
He has got...
Tell me if I'm wrong, though. I have been hearing for quite some time. I know y'all been hearing it, too. That Joshua's like, a bit shrewd, and he can be a bit arrogant, like in front of the cameras and everything. He all nice guy, but when it comes to negotiations, he be on some shit. Even a couple Eddie Hearn interviews, like he said, I don't remember the exact ones, and I'm not going to do any quotes, but he's alluded to the fact that, yeah, Joshua, he be on that shit. Now, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it when you got 3 belts, but, and this is one of those situations, once again, where it's like, listen, I don't want to motherfucking take sides. I'm just reporting the news, giving my opinion. I want the fucking fight to happen. And I can see valid reasons on both sides. But now the shit is so fucked. It's like, because it's fucked. Because Wilder has just some leverage now, even though, once again, I said Joshua's the A side in my opinion. Wilder has some leverage, and they have some type of plan. But at the end of the day, you got to keep winning. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Yeah, we're going to talk a whole lot more about this tonight after Wilder versus Breazeale. I'm going to be doing a stream, likely on YouTube. I don't want to do any more streams on this channel. Like, they've been really, really messing with my channel. I don't want to do no more streams until I get my podcast done. So I may be streaming the post-fight press conference on my other channel, TstreeT Uncut. Or, you know, if you want to really, like, if you really want to really watch like the post-fight press conference and we can do highlights and stuff and them not fuck with us, and y'all want to like have a real post-fight show, then you're likely going to have to sign up for Twitch, which is probably where I'll be going, because over here on YouTube it's too much copyright shit and they weird. Like, cause I'm promoting the motherfucking fight, and that's why I've been so bold and emailing everybody and calling these digital people and everything. Like, yo, leave my channel alone. Like, I'm covering these fights, promoting the sport. Like, this shit is expensive, you know? But anyway, I'm TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com. Please subscribe.
Got a ton of belts, a ton of money, and a ton of fans.
Yes, but that won't satisfy him if he doesn't get the big fights. His legacy, if he never gets the big fights, he'll be wealthy, he'll be able to go along, but the rest will haunt him.